Currently, the four youngest teams in the NBA are the Orlando Magic, the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, and the OKC Thunder, all of whom entered the 2022 to 2023 season with an average roster age below 24 years old. Particularly, the OKC Thunder with an average age of 23.1 years is the youngest among those four rebuilding teams, and yet they're also the best team on that list. Towards the end of the regular season, the Magic, the Spurs, and the Rockets have all been eliminated from playoff contention and have automatically found themselves headed to the draft lottery once again. But the Thunder, on the other hand, have emerged into a more advanced stage of the rebuilding phase after securing the 10th seed in a crowded Western Conference, enabling them to qualify for the play-in tournament. And basically, when you're a team like the Thunder who have exceeded expectations this quickly, especially while still owning as much as 13 first-round picks over the next 5 NBA drafts, you're definitely bound to attract a pair of bigger picture questions surrounding your rebuild, which are, how did this all happen and where is it actually going? So what's good everyone, it's Real Balls here, and in this video, we'll answer those questions and look into how the OKC Thunder have actually broken the standard for rebuilding teams. So let's get to it. The OKC Thunder's rebuilding process is definitely one of the most unique ones in NBA history in the sense that other successful rebuilding teams over the past decade or so had to find luck on top of the NBA draft year after year before they were able to land their next franchise centerpiece. But in OKC's case, right from that moment when GM Sam Presti decided to jumpstart their own process by trading Paul George to the Clippers in 2019, the Thunder had already landed the crown jewel of the rebuild in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But the crazy thing is, back when that trade happened 4 years ago, most analysts thought of OKC's own future lottery picks as the clearest path to the team landing their next superstar, and very few people actually believed that it was going to be this skinny 6'6" guard who averaged 11 points per game as a rookie for the Clippers that would become the next face of the Thunder franchise. But fast forward to this 2023 season, and Shai is averaging a whopping 31.4 points per game, ranking 4th in the entire NBA, only behind Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, and Damian Lillard. Plus, what's even crazier is that among the top 20 scorers this season, Shai's current 51% shooting clip is also actually the 4th best mark, as only Nikola Jokic, Giannis, and Joel Embiid have shot with better efficiency than him. But his brilliance doesn't stop with his offense, as Shai has also evolved into one of the most effective point-of-attack defenders in the entire NBA. He currently ranks 4th in steals per game and 2nd in deflections per game in the entire league. All of those tell us that Shai hasn't only taken the all-star leap, but has also entered elite territory as a certified two-way NBA superstar. But far beyond how they've trusted Shai to become the face of the rebuild, props also goes to OKC's front office for being able to identify the right building blocks to put around him. Let's look no further than the 2022 NBA draft, as with their final lottery pick at number 12, instead of drafting a player with higher theoretical upside like Jaden Hardy, or a player who would fill a more obvious gap in OKC's rotation like Jalen Duren, the Thunder selected 6'6" combo guard Jaylin Williams, or J-Dub as we Thunder fans call him, a guy who didn't really receive a lot of buzz during the pre-draft process up until he showed up with his off-the-charts measurements at the draft combine with his 7'2" wingspan. Sure, his size, length, and the way he puts together his package of moves as he drives his way to the basket would easily remind you of a younger but stronger version of SGA. But aside from that, the numbers also actually suggest that J-Dub really has the makings of an elite driving scorer. Look into his shot chart this season, and you'll actually see that almost 60% of all his buckets have come at the painted area, and particularly, he's been draining a whopping 72.5% of all his shot attempts at the rim, which is already the 4th most efficient mark among all guards this season. Since being a permanent member of the starting lineup in mid-November, J-Dub has already displayed Rookie of the Year credentials, but his most eye-opening stretch of the season definitely came in mid-February when SGA was sidelined for a few games, allowing J-Dub to have more on-ball creation reps, and from that point on, he's never looked back. Since that mid-February stretch, J-Dub has been averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on solid 55, 44, and 88% shooting splits over a 22 52-game span. The production and efficiency he's displaying for a rookie is definitely on another level, but what's even more fascinating is how the eye test also shows how J-Dub just makes plays that most rookies don't. When he tries to create for himself, you could see that he just isn't fazed by whoever's guarding him, and during sequences when pretty much any other rookie would melt, J-Dub just gets into his bag, pulls himself together, and creates a shot out of nothing. In this clip, watch how he isolates against Jaylen Brown. As Dort approaches with a screen, J-Dub attacks Brown before losing him with a hezzy behind the back dribble. Brown recovers on the drive, but J-Dub contorts his body as he finishes the end one even against contact. Then again here, you can see J-Dub being hounded by Dante DiVincenzo on the perimeter, but watch him use his body to create a driving lane before he stops on a dime, gets Kevon Looney with a shot fake, before using his size and strength to finish against the tough contest. But also, as I broke down in more detail in my last video, outside of Lu Dort, J-Dub is already OKC's best point of attack defender and also already an above average paint defender for his position. This is supported by the fact that even as a rookie, he already ranks 17th in the entire NBA in steals per game while also averaging the most blocks among all first year guards. With the way he's been playing on both ends of the floor, J-Dub indeed looks like a future all-star, but the crazy thing is, he's not even OKC's second best overall player right now, as that title still belongs to the team's 2021 lottery pick, Josh Giddey. Well, the thing is, after producing an outstanding and record-breaking rookie campaign, Giddey had sort of a slow start to his sophomore year, at least for the first month and a half of the season, but since December 1st, he's been putting up solid averages of more than 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists on more than 49% shooting from the field. Well, on offense, he's still making a living off his trademark mid-range floaters from around 10 feet of the basket, just like he did as a rookie. But the good thing is, nowadays, Giddey's been using some added strength together with a tighter handle and a better understanding of driving angles to get to the basket more frequently, which I think explains the more than 3 percentage point jump in his 2-point field goal percentage this season as compared to his rookie year. And as a result of Giddey's newfound comfort and increased efficiency as a downhill attacker, defenders are now starting to trap him even more once he's near the painted area. But to his credit, Giddey has also learned how to leverage these kinds of situations to further highlight his biggest strength, which is his playmaking ability. In this clip, on early offense, you can see Giddey rejecting the screen from J. Will as he goes downhill while taking his defender to the baseline. Marvin Bagley provides the double team, but as this happens, Giddey already prepares to dish out the one-handed no-look dime to the cutting Aaron Wiggins. Then here, from the corner, watch how Giddey exploits the mismatch against Steph Curry. He uses his size to create space before he's cut by the help defense from Draymond Green, but Giddey stays patient as he reads the floor until he finds the open J. Will right under the basket. But moving on, Josh Giddey's jump shooting ability remains his biggest area for development. He only shot more than 26% from 3 as a rookie, but the good news is, he's actually made a 6% jump as a second-year player, as he's now shooting 32.3% from 3, which improvement I think can mostly be credited to Giddey cutting off unnecessary pull-up three-pointers from his outside shot diet, as he has instead allowed teammates to set him up more off the catch, enabling him to focus more on his shooting motion and his shot preparation. Well, sure, he's still not a knockdown shooter by any means, and you also get the sense that in the long run, so much of OKC's offensive floor balance will hinge on how Giddey develops as a perimeter threat. But for now, OKC seems to be just fine waiting for him to fully develop his shot, cause the front office have actually surrounded SGA and Giddey himself with enough capable shooters to complement the team's drive-heavy offensive attack. After being cut by the 76ers in the offseason, OKC signed sharpshooting guard Isaiah Joe, and unsurprisingly, he's been leading the team in both outside shooting volume and efficiency with a 40.9% three-point clip on more than 5 attempts per game. Also, during the trade deadline, OKC acquired stretch big man Dario Saric, and since then, he's been helping boost the Thunder's offense with a 38% three-point shooting clip. And to complete the Thunder's three-point shooting bench mob, there's also second-year player Aaron Wiggins, who's also shooting a highly efficient 40% from 3 this season, postseason, while homegrown talent Lindy Waters is also a nightly threat from behind the arc despite only shooting 35%. On the other hand, lack of size remains OKC's biggest problem, especially on the defensive end. But the good thing is they're able to make up for it with excellent positional versatility, exceptional length, and quick rotations, which is why the Thunder are actually averaging the second most steals by any team this season, while also ranking first in terms of forcing opponents to commit turnovers. Well, it definitely helps that OKC has one of the best point of attack defenders in the entire NBA in Lu Dort, who's been limiting opponents to 0.82 points per chance when guarding them in isolations this season, ranking in the 90th percentile of the entire league. While rookie big man Jaylin Williams, who's become the team's regular starting center, currently leads the entire NBA in total offensive fouls drawn this season. Add to that the capable rim protection of forward Aleksej Pokusevski, who looked incredible before getting hurt, and you could see why despite lacking interior size, OKC has still produced the 13th best defense in the entire NBA this season. So just imagine how much more terrifying that kind of defense could become once unicorn Chet Holmgren finally steps on the floor for the Thunder. His 7-foot frame and elite rim protection alone should immediately make OKC at least a top 10 defense, but even on the other end, with his lob threat capability and 3-level shot making, it's not hard to visualize how much of a problem OKC would be for defenses once you play Chet alongside an elite scorer in SGA and an elite playmaker like Josh Giddey. Well, at the end of the day, not a lot of people really expected the Thunder to look like a playoff team just 4 years after dramatically tearing down their roster back in 2019. But currently, here they are about to compete in the play-in tournament. The thing is, everyone knows that they're not in a hurry to win big right now, cause with most of their core pieces still at least 4 to 5 years away from entering their primes, OKC is obviously rather focused on the bigger prize, which is becoming the best team in the NBA for the foreseeable future. So thank you guys if you've actually made it this far into the video, but let me ask you, how far do you think can the Thunder go this postseason? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Real Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.